Today, we're going to talk about something that has probably ruined more relationships than bad communication itself: terrible dating advice. And let me say this right now: just because advice sounds deep, it doesn't mean it's smart. Some of the loudest people giving relationship advice online are single themselves. Um, so today we'll break it down some of the worst, and I mean worst, dating advice people still keep repeating nowadays. Now, keep in mind, this is not the definitive list, so your list may vary. With that said, let's jump into it. Let's start with the classic: play hard to get. Now, listen, there's a difference between having standards and acting emotionally unavailable. Some people play hard to get and decide to respond to text once every other day or even longer. Then you finally text them back days later and wonder why they moved on. You see, healthy adults usually like clarity, not confusion. Now, if someone has to solve riddles just to figure out whether you like them, that's probably not a good strategy.
And just a heads up for 2026, yeah, playing hard to get does not work anymore. That advice was perfect for a time when people had less options, less access to other people, less money, less opportunities. That is not now. Now people have the internet, we have everybody that we can talk to, so there is no point in running and chasing after somebody that doesn't appear to want you. This goes for both men and women, by the way. Nobody's chasing you. As soon as somebody expresses interest, you tell them, I think we should just be friends. You better mean it, because no one is going to check and make sure that you're serious. Healthy dating in 2026 looks like communication, effort, consistency on both ends. And if you have any type of problem with that, feel free to thank feminism.
Now, here's another terrible piece of advice: make them jealous. Why are we creating emotional escape rooms for people we supposedly like? Folks will post mysterious photos with somebody else's arm in the picture, talking about date night. And do you know what the funniest part is? The person they wanted the attention from either don't care, they think you've moved on, or they quietly lose interest because now everything else feels childish. That advice causes way more drama than connection.
So let's talk about being the rebound of a narcissist. And of course, if you're new here, I'm an actual diagnosed narcissist. So we all know that a lot of narcissistic people, toxic people, like to move on quickly from relationships. And I tell people, one of the biggest red flags when you're dealing with a narcissistic person is if they have just got out of a relationship and they're trying to move extremely fast with you. Like first, second, third date, they're taking pictures of you, posting on social media, talking about I never felt this way about somebody else, and they just got out of a relationship. This is why I tell people to slow down, y'all. If this is, like, ask yourself this question right here, y'all. If this is forever, why are we rushing? Slow it down, y'all, because if that narcissistic person is talking bad about their ex and how their ex did them wrong, but they're trying to post pictures of you on social media, or trying to rush you into meeting their family or their children, or trying to rush to meet your family or your children, they're using you to get over somebody else. You are the new supply. And what typically happens in these situations is that the narcissist's old supply might not be over the narcissist. So they're reaching out to you, talking junk to you. Now you have a new enemy, right? And that's what the narcissists love. Oh my goodness, y'all. Narcissistic people love when they have two or more people competing over them, because that empowers them, makes them feel good about themselves and things like that. So if you're in a new relationship and you're already arguing with their ex or dealing with harassment from their exes and things like that because they just ended a relationship, y'all, be careful. You might be fighting to stay in a toxic relationship. Y'all, if your relationship starts off rocky and toxic, it's going to continue to be rocky and toxic. Stop letting toxic, manipulative people convince you that things will get better if they already started off bad. Because sooner or later, what a lot of people realize is that old supply or the old relationship partner or the narcissist ex was telling the truth about that narcissistic person. And
This is a phrase that has taken out many good people. You can fix them. Guess what? No, you cannot fix them. You are not a therapist, a life coach, a repair shop, or a spiritual construction worker. If somebody openly tells you, I'm toxic, I don't communicate, I'm not ready for commitment, please stop translating that into challenge accepted. Some people don't need romance right now. What they need is healing, accountability, and probably the Wi-Fi disconnected from their ex.
Beautiful people, stop thinking that you can fix him, that you can fix her. Don't you know that some people don't want to be fixed? Don't you know that some people are so complacent with where they are that they don't want to do better? They don't want to be fixed. And stop thinking that something is wrong with you, because truth be told, ain't nothing wrong with you, honey. The person that needs the fixing, they the one got the issues. So do yourself a favor and remove yourself, because if you don't, you will need fixing. And y'all already know this is a what? Big old fact.
Now, this one is complicated, and sometimes it's true. If they wanted to, they would. Social media has turned this into a universal commandment. Like there's going to be a worldwide panic if you don't do the simplest of things in a relationship. Life has nuance. Some people are shy, some overthink, some are emotionally awkward, some genuinely like you, but communicate like they sending messages through a fax machine. Now, yes, effort does matter. Consistency matters. But not every delayed text message means somebody secretly hates you. Sometimes people are just human.
If he wanted to, he would. Where does this phrase come from, and why do dudes hate it so much? So this phrase definitely arose to power around the same time as the weaponized incompetence surge, and it's become this empowering phrase that women use to remind each other that if their man isn't acting right, another man will. It's not that simple. Like, especially for neurodivergent dudes, of which there are many, just because they want to do something doesn't mean it gets done. Just like us, there are so many circumstances and variables in life that lead to those things not getting done for whatever reason. And so when the assumption is placed on them that the only reason it's not getting done is because they don't care or they don't want to help, that's kind of like a knife through the heart, you know? Every single one of you watching right now has something that you've always wanted to do that has still not come to fruition. And if I were to tell you that the only reason that that has not happened for you yet is because you simply don't want it, I don't think you would agree.
I know we all heard this. Never go to bed angry. Honesty. Some people need sleep before continuing the argument, because at 2 o'clock in the morning, nobody's solving relationship problems correctly. That's when people start saying things like, you always do this, or no, you always do that. And suddenly everybody's bringing up stuff from 1996. Sometimes the healthiest thing is let's cool down and revisit this tomorrow, because exhaustion and frustration together are a dangerous combination.
All right, so one of the advices that people tend to give a lot to newlywed couples and to couples in long-term relationships is to never go to bed angry. And I have news for y'all. Sometimes you're going to go to bed angry, because if you plan on being with this person for a very long time, right? Realistically, we're not always going to be able to find a resolution to our issues on the same day that we're having the discussion about the issue. Sometimes we're going to have to walk away from it and come back to it another day. Sometimes we both need time and space to think, right? To cool down, to have some recollection, to have some insight within ourselves before we come back to our partner. And so it may take a day, it may take 2 days, right? But you're not going to have that instant resolution all the time. And so as ideal as it is, yes, of course, if you can avoid going to bed angry with your partner, 100%, I recommend it. But the reality of it is that sometimes you're going to go to bed angry. And that's okay. That's just the reality, right? And it's important to have realistic expectations in your relationship and not just these kind of unrealistic fairy tale ideas about what relationships are supposed to look like.
At the end of the day, healthy relationships usually come down to a few simple things: honesty, communication, consistency, emotional maturity, and mutual respect. Not games, not manipulation, not fake alpha male or city girl plans from people arguing in podcast clips. And honestly, some of the best dating advice is just this: be real, pay attention, communicate clearly. And let me stress this last one: communicate clearly. And please stop getting relationship wisdom from people whose lives are clearly in shambles. So, what's the worst dating advice you have ever heard? Let us know in the comments. Thank y'all for listening. And until next time, take care and be blessed.